guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Zeev. I'm a makeup obsessed college student in North Carolina, which is in the US on the East Coast. And today's video is going to be my part one of my collection. So this is going to be primers and foundations. So this is probably going to be a long one. So yeah. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like, comment, let me know what you want to see, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's start with primer. So this is all of the primers I have. Let's go one by one and just talk through them a little bit. So first up, I have the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is like $60, and it's really good. It's just really hydrating and moisturizing and a little bit expensive for what it is, but I really enjoy it. Don't know about repurchasing it, but I have it and I enjoy it. So next are these two. These are both from e.l.f. We have the Poreless Putty Primer and the Luminous Putty Primer. I like both of them a lot. This is a lot like the Tatcha Silk Canvas, right? This one is way more luminous. I don't know if you could tell in the, I don't think you can, but if I take a little bit, put some on the back of my hand, you can see there's a little bit of a sheen there. See that? So that's that hand versus this hand. Sheen, no sheen. So that's what the luminous one looks like. So it's a little bit different than the Tatcha Silk Canvas, but I really enjoy both of them. It just depends on what I like for the day. And yeah, they're both pretty good, and they're about $6, I think. So next we have these two from Tatcha. I have the Silk Canvas, the regular one, and the Liquid Silk Canvas. These are both minis. I got them for free as points. I really enjoy them both. You know, I think it depends on what you like. If you don't mind sticking your fingers in a jar type product, then, you know, the Silk Canvas the original is great. And if you don't like using or sticking your hands in products, the Liquid Silk Canvas is really great. It's got a pump, and the big version is really pretty. So is the Silk Canvas. The original's big version is really pretty too. I think all of their minis are kind of not boring, but just, I don't know what the word is, but they're just not as pretty. And now we have the Tarte. This is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. And as you can tell by the bottom, I have gone through a fair portion of this. I really enjoy it. It smooths out the pores, but you definitely want to make sure that you're using only a little bit, because if you use too much, then it starts pilling and not looking great. So I enjoy it, but you just have to be wary of how much you use. Another pore filling primer is the Touch in Sol No Poreblem Primer. This is really good. I really enjoy it. You don't really have to be careful with how much you use. Like the Tarte one, you know, you have to kind of watch out for that. But with this one, you don't really have to. And it looks really good. So next we have the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This one's really pretty. It's very hydrating and luminous. It does have a bit of a luminosity, just like the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, and I really enjoy it. Makes, you know, your skin really hydrated, and make sure that you look nice and pretty. So next up we have the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip dupe. It's got that green tint and everything, and it really does feel exactly like the Milk Makeup one. I would say this one is, you know, just as hydrating and yet gripping as the other one, and I really enjoy it. So next we have the Tarte Base Tape. This is their hydrating primer. This is kind of goes with the Double Duty Beauty line that they have. So the base tape, the face tape, and the shape tape. Wow, that's a tongue twister. I really enjoy it. It's just a hydrating primer. It pretty much feels like a moisturizer. Nothing too special. I don't know that I would spend the money on it again. Actually, I know I definitely wouldn't, because I can get this with just a regular moisturizer from the drugstore. But I have it and I enjoy using it, but I wouldn't repurchase. Next, I have a mini. This is the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer, and I have the shade Nude Glow. I love this primer. Honestly, it's a lot like the Ole Henriksen and the e.l.f. Luminous. The only difference between the e.l.f. Luminous one and these two is that this is kind of fills in your pores a little bit, and these don't. They're not pore filling at all, but they give your skin such a lovely finish. So I really enjoy this. I love how it looks under makeup. And I have the mini because the large size is expensive. So next up we have these ones. So let's start over here. I have the Fourth Ray Beauty Chamomile Face Milk. This is ColourPop's sister brand. I really like this. It's a lot like the base tape. It's just very hydrating, pretty much a moisturizer, but it doesn't disrupt your makeup or anything, and makes your skin feel good. So next we have the Milk Hydra Grip. I do have a mini of this just to kind of compare with this one. I did buy this first. As you can tell, I've used quite a bit of it. I really enjoy it. You do have to be careful about how much you use, just like the Tarte Clean Slate primer. This could kind of pill. This one hasn't done that to me. But, as long as you're careful about how much you're using, I haven't had too much trouble with this lately. But, if you're looking for a gripping primer, I would totally go Hard Candy Before Milk Makeup. So now we have these three Farsali ones. So we'll start here. We have the Liquid Glass primer, and this one is beautiful. It really does make your skin that glass-like finish. I wouldn't say it's not like the Banana Bright and the Glow Starter. It doesn't really give you that glow. It just makes your skin look very shiny without any sparkles or anything in there. It's really hard to explain, but it's a beautiful primer. It's not very moisturizing or anything like that. It really does just give your skin that glassy finish under your makeup. So next we have a mini of the Skin Tune Blur. This one fills in your pores. It looks really good. It's not too drying or anything like that. It doesn't pill. The only thing I would say about all three of these Farsali ones is that the droppers are uncomfortably difficult to use. So that's kind of frustrating, especially when you spend that money on these, but they are good. So the final primer I have is the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir, and this is the moisturizing one out of the bunch. It also gives you, it has that 24 karat gold infused in it, and it gives your skin, a bit of a sheen and just makes your skin look good under makeup. And I enjoy it. I don't use it too often, so I don't know about repurchasing, but I enjoy it while I have it. And yeah, so that is all of my primers. Well, I don't have as many as I thought I did. I have 16 primers. So yeah, I have a couple samples and things like that, but I didn't want to include those because I don't really use them that often. But these are the ones that I use pretty frequently, like I said, the Tarte Base Tape and the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir I don't use too often, but everything else I like to rotate in my collection, and I enjoy trying new things. So yeah, love primers, and let's go ahead and move on to foundation. So this is my foundation drawer. As you can see, it's pretty full, but I'm gonna start over here with some new ones. They're new to me, but they're not new on the market. This is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Liquid Foundation. I have the shade Cream, and I haven't tried this yet, but I've heard kind of mixed reviews, and I got it probably about 50% off, so I'm really excited to try it. The next one that I have new is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. I have the shade R230. Again, this is new to me. I haven't used it yet, but I like stick foundations. I don't use them too often, but you'll see I have a couple more in my collection, and I'm excited to try it. The next two are from Milk Makeup, and I found these at TJ Maxx, so I paid like maybe 25% of the actual price. And this is the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick, and this is in the shade Snow. This is what it looks like. I have swatched it a couple times just to kind of look at the shade and stuff, but I haven't tried it yet. But I'm really excited to see how it wears. And next for Milk Makeup, we have the Blur Matte Foundation, or just the matte foundation in the shade Fair. It says Shake Well. Like I said, with all the other ones, I haven't tried it, but I'm really excited to give it a shot and see what it looks like on the skin. So now let's get into the foundations I have in my drawer. I'll go ahead and start with the ones up in the front. So this one I have the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Alabaster. I like it. Nothing too special, I guess. It's not, a holy grail of mine, but I don't not like it, so it's just okay. Next, we have the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Foundation. I have the shade 110 Porcelain. And I would say for this one, if you like matte and you like full coverage, but like matte, you will really enjoy this. This is definitely a on certain occasions foundation for me, but I do enjoy it. And, on the days that I wear it, I like to wear hydrating stuff underneath, but it's a good foundation. So the next one kind of rocked the world when it came out, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I have the shade, does this have a shade? I think it's just 410 right here. This is beautiful. It's got some sunscreen in it. It says SPF 25. It's about medium coverage, I would say. It doesn't feel like anything on your skin. It feels like you're not wearing any makeup at all. And I really like it. So next we have the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Liquid Foundation. So this is the same as the one I was talking about earlier, but this is in the stick version, and then this is the liquid. And I enjoy this. It's about medium coverage. I would say probably just a natural finish, nothing too dewy or matte going on here, but I have the shade R210, and I really like this for like an everyday kind of foundation. Next up, we have a Raw Beauty Kristi favorite, and that is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. I have the shade LN6. It's a little deep on me, but I really enjoy it, and I like that it has the doe foot that you can use, or you can pump it out. I tend to use the doe foot just because it makes life easy. I don't have to get my finger dirty or anything like that. And I would say about medium buildable coverage. It can definitely be full coverage. And I would say more of a matte finish, but I really enjoy this one. Next, we have the Oma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation, and I have the shade Fair Lady T1C. So, and it says that it's specifically formulated for fair skin. I think the way this foundation works is that there's a different formula for every skin type or skin tone. So they have like very fair, medium, medium deep, and dark deep or something, deep dark or something like that. They have a ton of shades. This is a Black-owned beauty brand, and I enjoy it. I would say you could definitely, sheer it out for a light coverage or build it, to a medium full coverage. And it is hydrating, but I would say it has more of like a natural finish. Next up, we have a cult favorite, and that's the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have the shade 1 and 2 Ecru. This is a little deep for me, but I do really enjoy this foundation. It's more of a special occasion foundation, just because of the full coverage-ness of it and the mattifyingness, but I do really enjoy it, and I'm glad I have it. So next is kind of a similar product, and that's the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and I have the shade 0.5, which is a fair cool foundation. This is a lot like the Estee Lauder. It's very full coverage, like probably more full coverage than the Estee Lauder, and pretty matte, so you don't need a lot of this at all, but it's a really good foundation and it lasts a really long time on the skin. So next we have from Revolution, we have the stick, the Fast Base Stick Foundation, and I have the shade F3, and I don't use this a lot. If I do, at the moment, if I do go into a stick foundation, I go into the next one I'm about to talk about, but yeah, I don't really have much to say about it because I don't use it that often, but I do keep it around just in case. So this is what I was talking about, what I like to use when I do go for stick foundations, and this is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and I have the shade Alabaster. I've used a fair bit of it, nothing too crazy, but, oh wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you can tell I've used a fair bit of it. Let's see how much is left. Just gonna keep scrolling. So you can see a lot still left, but I've used a fair bit, and I really enjoy this. It looks amazing on the skin, yet it's really good coverage, and you can, really kind of decide how you want it to look. You can definitely sheer it out for a nice light coverage, or you can, build it for a full coverage. And you can definitely just kind of keep it the same for a nice medium coverage. It looks good on the skin. It feels really nice, nothing too cakey or anything like that. And I really enjoy it. So next we have the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation, and I have the shade 1C0 Cameo, and I've tried this a couple times. I need to keep testing it a little bit just to see, how it wears with a hydrating primer, with a more pore filling primer, but I do enjoy it. It's very nice coverage, more of a matte finish, but it looks pretty good on my dry, normal skin, and I just have to play around with it a little bit more, see what I think. So this is one of the newer ones out on the market. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I have the shade Light 1 Oslo. And if you haven't seen the applicator before, it's a squeezy tube. Not my favorite applicator, and the bottle is kind of hard, so once you get to the bottom of it, it might be difficult to get product out. And this is fairly new to me, just like it's new to the market, but great coverage. It's got a nice feeling to it. It definitely is that soft matte. It doesn't feel drying on the skin, but it does dry down. So like if you are dry skinned, you probably wouldn't need to powder this. I like to powder my foundations just because it's part of my routine and to make sure that everything stays on as long as possible. But I really enjoy it and I'm excited to have it. So I bought this one at the same time as the Stake Foundation, but I have tried this one, and this is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Full Coverage Foundation, and I have the shade R210, and this is beautiful. Definitely more matte, full coverage, depending on how much you use, and you do feel it on the skin a little bit, but not too much, and I really enjoy it. So next, we have two from Wet n Wild. And these are the Photo Focus foundations. We have the original and the dewy. I have both in the shade Shell Ivory. Where's the shade on this one? Shell Ivory. There it is. And here, we'll talk about this one first. Matte finish. I would say it is probably medium buildable coverage. If you've never seen this foundation, it comes with the spatula, so does the dewy one, which isn't my favorite because product just kind of like flops off of it, so like it kind of is really messy, but it's a good foundation for the price. I think it's about $5 and I really enjoy it. Now the dewy one is definitely more hydrating dewy. Probably about the same amount of coverage too, so it really just depends on the finish you like. But I really like it, and I think it's a good foundation. And with it being so affordable, it's a good way to go. So the next foundation I have is the Beauty Blender Bounce Liquid Whip Longwear Foundation. I have the shade 1.2C. If you haven't ever seen this foundation, it has like a dip in it so that you can push the foundation in here and then stamp your beauty sponge or, beauty blender onto it. It also has a nice locking feature, which is really nice. But this is I would say, more matte foundation, really good coverage, and I really like the way it feels on my skin. So, highly recommend this one. We have the Ordinary Coverage Foundation, High Coverage Foundation Formula. I have the shade 1.1N. This is okay. It's not my favorite. I just wanted to try it as something to try out from The Ordinary. Yeah, you have to use a pretty large amount to get the coverage you want, and this is a little deep for me, and I think this is one of the lightest shades, but otherwise it's not really a favorite. I don't reach for it too much, but I keep it in here just for giggles, and yeah. So next up we have the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. I have the shade Porcelain. And I will admit, I have maybe used this once. I don't remember what I think about it. I'm guessing it's supposed to be a dupe for the NARS Natural Longwear Foundation. But I haven't tested it out too much. I do definitely need to use it, though. And I'll see what I think. So now we'll move on to the ones that are laying down. Most of the ones laying down are just because they're too tall to be standing up. So this is the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation, medium to full coverage. I have the shade Porcelain. And this is beautiful. This is $5 at Dollar General. And I love the way it looks on my skin. Definitely a medium to full coverage. I would say more natural to matte finish. But I really enjoy it, and I love the fact that it's only $5. So next we have the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. I have the shade 10WY. This is definitely not the right shade for me. I am not warm. I have more of a cool to neutral undertone. But I got it from a friend, so I didn't really have much option, but I do like it. I would say about medium to full coverage. Definitely a matte finish, and it does, wear really well on the skin, but I don't reach for it too often. So next we have the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I have the shade F3. This comes in a giant doe foot applicator. Ooh, you can't see that. Giant doe foot applicator. I really, really, really like this foundation. Definitely matte, full coverage, very long wearing, and I really enjoy it. They also have a Conceal and Hydrate and now a glowy one. But this is the only one I have, and I really enjoy it. So next I have the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and I have the shade Linen, as you can see there. I really like this, actually. I know not a lot of people talk about Becca foundations, but I think it's really good, and I like the way it feels on my skin. I like the way it wears, and I really enjoy it. So next up, we have a classic. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream, and I have the shade Fair. This is a little too deep for me. I can make it work, but it's not like a perfect shade or anything like that. But I do enjoy it. I would say it's about medium coverage. You can definitely sheer it out to get that light coverage. Definitely more of a matte finish, but not as matte as like the NARS Soft Matte or the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. So more of a natural matte finish. So next we have the Hailey's Beauty Reset Liquid Matte Foundation. And I have the shade 2.15 Neutral. This is the lightest shade, and it's still a little bit dark for me. So that's not my favorite thing. And the what's it called? Like the applicator, I guess, is kind of weird. So that's not my favorite thing, but this is really a nice foundation. You don't really feel it on the skin. It looks really good, and it wears really nicely. I would say about medium to medium full coverage. So next up, we have a semi-new one to my collection, and that's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have the shade 1 Cool. I've only used this a couple times. It does come with a pump. It's very bougie, just in the packaging itself. The weight of it, it's pretty heavy. I will say there's a extremely strong fragrance with this, which isn't my favorite thing, but it's full coverage, matte, 100% matte. If you don't like matte, you don't like this. And if you don't like fragrance, you won't like this. But, once you get past the fragrance, if you like a matte full coverage foundation, this is a really good one, although it's pretty expensive. Next up, we have another Hailey's Beauty one, and this is the Reform Liquid Luxe Luminous Finish Liquid Foundation. And I have the shade 2.15, again, the lightest shade. Again, a little bit dark on me. This one does come with a pump, which I prefer over the weird, I guess you can call it an applicator that the other one has, that their liquid matte one has. But this is really pretty. I would say it's kind of like the NARS Naturally Radiant Foundation, just based on like the coverage is about medium full coverage. It's got more of that luminous, dewy finish, and it wears really well. So I like it, but it's very similar to the NARS Radiant Foundation. So next up, we have an oldie, and this is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Longwear Foundation. And I have the shade, where is it? 90 IVON. I'm guessing that's ivory. Oh, I like how this says it expires 6/20. Oops, too late. I don't really pay attention to that. This is really pretty. I would say this has about medium full coverage. It wears pretty well, and it's definitely more mattifying if you like that, but I really enjoy it, and I like the way it looks on my skin. So we have a classic here, NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I have the shade Mont Blanc L2. Hello, focus. I really enjoy this. I used it today. As I'm filming this, I used this. The makeup I have on today is from my Sephora starter kit video, which should be up already, so I'll link it down below. But I really like this. I would say, you know, medium full coverage. Definitely not like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. And it definitely has that natural, slightly radiant finish, but I really enjoy it, and it's definitely a cult classic. Just a couple more to go. I have the, if I can get it out. Oh my gosh. Oh no, it's spilled everywhere. Holy moly. Okay, I need to clean that. But this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I have the shade 130N. Sorry, shook you guys. Comes with a pump that apparently is leaking, which is super pleasant. But I like it. It's a good, you know, medium coverage foundation. I wouldn't say it's anything too full coverage. Definitely has that luminous finish. And I enjoy it, except for the whole leaking everywhere thing. I need to clean that. So 2 more. These 2 in the back, I'm not going to talk about just because they're discontinued. I just keep them for fun. But this is the Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm. I have the shade Light FB01. I really like this. I know, you know, a lot of people didn't like it on first impression, but I really enjoy it. It's extremely full coverage, like most of Kevyn Aucoin's products, or at least the only other Kevyn Aucoin product that I have. So full coverage, pretty matte, but I think it looks beautiful on the skin, and I even like using it with the brush that it comes with. I know Samantha March doesn't really like using the brush, but she uses a sponge with this, but I really enjoy this combo, and I really like it. So last up, we have another Makeup Forever foundation, and this is the Matte Velvet Skin Powder Foundation. I have the shade Y225. This is what it looks like. So you get a mirror, hello, a sponge, which I use the black side. I don't really use this, whatever side this is, the white side. I like this side better, and I like the coverage it has. It's definitely a matte, probably medium buildable coverage, depending on how much you use. I've only ever used it with this sponge, so honestly, I wouldn't know how else to use a powder foundation if I'm trying to get that coverage. I don't know how much a brush will really help. So I've only used this, but I'm not mad about this applicator. I really like it. So that is all of my foundations. So that is all of my primers and foundations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you want to see next down below, and don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like, comment, do all the things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!